Howdy. Welcome to Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince doing Talking Tarot, so feel free to drop your questions in or just hang out and chat. If you need to, you can come back to the video later. I know sometimes there's a line. We'll still do our best to answer all the questions we get today, so unless we have an absurd amount come in, we should be able to do them all. Otherwise, hope you're doing well and hope the week is going pretty well. I'll just be shuffling cards. I don't think we used half of them last time, but that's it. It is what it is. So I get more use than others. Hey, Lapina. I'm doing well. How are you? Well, I don't have a huge crowd or anything, so it makes sense. So what's up? You were asking about the Atma and stuff last time. Nice. Oh, not so sweet. Gotcha. Well, hopefully it's not too long. Do you enjoy the work at least? You got me. Okay. Oh, not everybody is that lucky, but most people can get into it. It is true. Yep. Not yet. I was turned down for a few things, but they wanted some particular experience, which I only had a little of, so that made sense. One recruiter was just reaching out today, but there's a position I was turned down from that I think I just need to reword my resume and whatnot. And I think I'll add a cover letter this time, because I think that would be my job of choice. But yeah, nothing solid yet. But that's okay. I'm not too worried. And mean, I planned on a hiatus and I planned buffer for finding it. So, yep, I I worry about very little, so it works out pretty well. Thanks, Lavina. Yeah, it'll just be interesting when I get to juggling this and whatever the new job is. So we'll see how that goes. How to not worry, how to have very few worries. I mean, I know why I don't, but that's a hard thing to, yeah. Also, I mean, I specifically follow a Christian religion, um, and I believe in a just God and an eternity, an afterlife. So all wrongs and whatnot that happen now, like if they don't get resolved in this life, and I no guarantee or promise they will, then it'll get resolved and balanced out then. Um, so I mean, strong faith in afterlife and that eternity. So there's that. Um, that well, the characteristics we call good and whatnot, um, that those are valued in said eternity. Um, and Christian, that'll like differentiate what degree of glory you get. Um, so yeah, I mean, and if yeah, I have a lot of faith in that, and then the promise of Christ and the resurrection. So um, at the end of the day, like terrible stuff happens, and it might be stressful to cope with. But as far as worry, yeah, there's not too much I worry about. I think, if anything, people worrying um, might be one of my greatest worries. Like my wife, she's an anxious individual, and so she can worry a lot. And so there's my worries for her, and that's about it. I guess similar stuff for other people, but yeah. Yep, works pretty well. So yeah, I don't know that it's really a teachable skill. Yeah, that does tend to be the case. Um, but I do feel women tend to be more people oriented. Um, so when you account like the problems that women are solving tend to be like social. um, so the problems women tend to focus on are social, and because of how well, I mean, society and people network. Well, then that would be unusual for a woman, but I mean, it's not impossible, let alone rare. Uh, nice. Yeah, I do tend to keep to myself as well. But yeah, so yeah, yeah, that happens to me too. Unless it's like very few people. Yeah, yeah. People can be exhausting. Peopling can be exhausting. For the right people, you can keep it up for a while. So, yeah. Yeah, I get along with a lot of people, but I don't spend a lot of time with a lot of people either. So, what should you ask? Um, a question about questions. I mean, we could try just that. Um, but I mean, if you don't have, um, right. Um, I mean, if you don't have particular questions, we don't have to do readings or anything. We can just talk. I mean, it is talk and tarot, so uh, yeah, we don't have to worry about that. But if you want, I mean, we could try to do a reading of what question should you be asking or focusing on. Um, that would be more of a like a self improvement sort of thing, I suppose. That line of thinking. Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. Um, I mean, I've got Spread Machine, which is good for like um, more introspective stuff. It's themed a bit around shadow work, um, but that's not necessarily your focus. So, probably not Destiny. Lost Force isn't bad for that sort of question. I try to be. Um, I at least try to be wise. I know a few things, but I try to be wise. Insight might be good. Um, yeah, not necessarily. Um, so let's see. Yeah, where this is more inward, let's use the Lost Forest. This deck doesn't get as much use as I might like it to. It's got, in my opinion, some of the best art. So, what question should you be focusing on? It's not necessarily one we would ask because there is a certain due diligence to questions. Um, but yeah, question. No, Okay. Um, Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. So it feels like a tempered pair. I'll go ahead and show you. Oh, that's so small. There we go. So we've got the one in front, the primary one, and then the secondary one behind it with its tempering influence. So we've got Seven of Skies. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's making a constellation of a dagger. This one, the themes are deception and betrayal. Um, and the guide isn't too elaborate for this deck, so that's about it. And then Eight of Skies. So both of these in a normal deck would be swords, 7 and 8 of swords. 8 would normally be associated with self entrapment. So you're in your own head, so to speak, getting in your own way. Oh, good. Um, so offhand, you might be struggling with some betrayals. You might feel hurt by people. And it really, it's probably mostly just how you're perceiving things. You're mostly in your head about what's causing that. So, yeah, I'll double check the guide, but that's the gist of that one. And so then, as far as what the question would be, I guess it'd be something along the lines of, well, why am I hurting myself on others, or something like that. Um, but let's just check real quick. Skies 7. So deception, betrayal, subterfuge. And then 8. Imprisonment, burdening oneself, victim mentality. So yeah. Yeah, you might, I mean, the question would be, why am I being hurt by people so often? And part of the reason why is you're hurting yourself, would be the explanation. I'm pretty sure that's the tempering influence. And it might take a while to sort that out. But yeah, that's what that would say. Hey Maya, how's it going? I'll go ahead and shuffle these. If you've got a question, Maya, go ahead. And I guess Lavina, any follow up to that? Um, so I guess clarify that, or is the let's find out, um, a find out over time? Okay. Sure, Maya. If you have a more specific question on the relationship, let me know. Otherwise, um, yeah, we can read on that. Okay. Yeah, that's the hard side of compassion, um, of selflessness, because sometimes you lose yourself, um, which can be a bit problematic. Uh, okay. You think so? Okay. Okay. I'm still, well, so I'm inclined to think it's still rooted in compassion, but probably that compassion went overboard in the relationship. People took advantage of you. Well, person took advantage of you. And now you're going through to the other extreme of, well, isolation in a sense. So, I mean, you've learned the lesson that you can be too selfless, um, but you've hopped the fence and fallen on off the other side. So, yeah, yeah, finding that balance can be tricky. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a therapist would probably recommend exposure, like voluntarily, probably doing volunteer service or something like that, to put you in a place of giving and nurturing, um, but preferably with low stakes. That's the only issue. I don't want you to necessarily make a habit of a particular place. Um, but yeah, you have to be ready to approach that. So, gosh, I feel like I should know that word. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, um, I mean, having someone to speak to, I mean, that helps with coping. Um, but I guess there's a certain, because part of that isn't just speaking to help you, well, to talk about stuff. Part of it might be assertiveness, that you might have something to say and you have to um, have the wherewithal to say it. Um, I don't know if that's an issue for you though. So, but yeah, yeah, right. I mean, for any real counseling, yeah, yeah, that is fundamental. Um, Maya, you've been pretty patient. Let me highlight your question. Okay. I'm gonna read for Maya, and then we can continue. Um, how may we work on our relationship? Thank you. It's all good. Okay. So we've got 4 cards. How to work on it. This bottom one, this is the primary advice. That's the impression I'm getting. These are secondary things, um, but this is the first step, the first thing. So, temperance. the notes there are healing and guidance. And then up here we've got Knight of Cups with new love and artistic. Ace of Pentacles, prosperity and beginning. And then Five of Wands, competition and debates are the note there. That's not necessarily argumentative. But yeah, so really, temperance, I mean, that's all about moderation, bringing things into a better balance. So that's the first and foremost advice. I think I want to read up on the others to make sure I get them right. I mean, Five of Wands, this is more like being able to have discussions, long talks, whatnot, debates, as it says on the card, but not necessarily competitively. I mean, there is the competition note. That's one aspect of the card. But this is that you guys are able to express yourselves fully, thoroughly, and in the end, fully understand each other. And in some cases, settle on stuff if you need to make decisions or something like that. So yeah, but we'll definitely read up those. Let's start with temperance, though, since that's foremost. And we've got our guide for this one. And we're sharing, right? Yeah, okay. This card reminds you that in a potentially volatile situation, you must temper your thoughts and actions to find balance and harmony. When this card shows up, it encourages peace and patience and reminds you to go with the flow of your life instead of trying to force a certain direction. The message that temperance brings with it is to take things as they come and remain flexible enough to change with the change. This is a moment to connect to your guides and your angels. You may be shown a sign which will aid in your spiritual journey. Temperance asks you to find balance and peace that comes from a centered heart. So I just want to be clear, this isn't a lie down and let them roll over you sort of thing. But there is definitely, like, the strong thing there would be, or was it flexibility? It's in there somewhere. Yeah, so not being too stern, too strict, but being understanding, giving things some space. And then there's that go with the flow. I mean, sometimes you'll need to set your foot down for stuff. But yeah, the recommendation there is to, yeah, moderate a bit more, and be, I don't want to sum it up in patience, open. Yeah. Entertain the new things or those thoughts and what they're saying. Yeah, Lavina. We can ask about that too. Yeah. So yeah, that's temperance. Let's go on to Knight of Cups. And there he is. Signifies a dreamy and romantic hero who is heart-centered. This is an action-oriented person who urges you to move forward based on your feelings. Traditionally, all knights have a quest. This knight's quest is love. This card asks you to lead with your heart. Perhaps a love prospect will be revealed to you. Well, you've already got one. Or new friends may enter your circle. If you are thinking about starting a new project, this is the right moment to do so. In any endeavor you take on, be sure to act from your intuition and do not allow fear to make your decisions. So, I mean, that would be leading with your heart. and maybe starting something together. And I think we'll get a similar thing with the Ace of Pentacles. Oh yeah, it does that thing. Let me find the two, and then I can scroll. There we go. The Ace of Pentacles is auspicious for every aspect of your life. Two hands appear from a cloud, offering a single coin. This coin is the only one in this deck that looks the way it does, with the rays flaring out, as if to emphasize its value. This card predicts happiness and contentment. You can always have what you desire. It also predicts prosperity, as you will find that money will come to you quickly as a win. Well, obviously, this is more in the context of your relationship. But yeah, um, this would suggest good thing is coming. Have faith in that. Good things. Sorry, I think I said singular. Um, yeah, so that didn't touch so much on beginnings, but we got that in the Knight of Cups. Let's go on to the Five of Wands. Represents a competition. The message is to stay strong in your position and do not compromise. Although there is not an outright battle, it is more about misunderstandings. The source of struggle may be an inner conflict. Perhaps you are faced with difficult decisions that must be made, and there is an inner power struggle with your thoughts. This card calls for a test of strength and a competitive spirit. Conversely, and I think this is the relevant part, the Five of Wands could also mean several people coming together in a concentrated effort toward a common goal. Stand in your truth and allow the chaos to calm. This will move you towards victory. So, yeah, being firm in your position. But yeah, you do have to weather the storm of working through all those misunderstandings. It touched on that earlier. Um, so, yeah. Okay. Um, that's what we got on that, Maya. Any questions? Or I guess we had a question. Any follow-up questions? Okay, no problem. I'm glad it helped. Um, so, Olivina, why am I seeing angel numbers these days, and what are they trying to communicate to me? Yeah, I'm not familiar with angel numbers myself. Um, so people will sometimes mention specific ones. Um, I don't need to know that, just like I didn't need to know about Atma and stuff in order to get answers. Uh, there are different ways of looking at the problem. So, um, there's the deck. This one, I like to use the Cosmo deck, and it's angel messages and stuff like that. Why and what are they trying to communicate? Okay. Yeah, we can ask that question. Sorry, I don't know your first name, so I guess I'll go with Javisha. Javisha. Um, yeah. Let me answer Lavina's question, and then we can do yours. That's great. Oh, nice. Excellent. Just a minute, trying to figure out because I only got one tempered pair. I'm trying to figure out what it's speaking to, whether it's the why you're seeing them or what they're trying to communicate. And I think the focus is on what, and then the why is implied, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Let me get our camera back. Okay. Oh, and it's small. Let's bring that up. There we go. Okay, so again, a tempered pair, the primary one in front, the tempering one in back. 7 of trees, and then 5 of and 5 of trees. So normally these would be pentacles. So the 7 of pentacles tempered by the 5 of pentacles. Now I'm thinking of cups. Yeah, I'll have to read to make sure I get that right. Of course, Cosmo is special, so I'd have to do that anyways. So let's start with the 7, and then we'll find out the 5's tempering influence. Purpose, prosperity, reward. You arrive at the market ready to sell your harvest. Your fruits are ripe and their sweet aroma fills the air. This is referring to the picture. People flock to your stand, ready to spend their hard earned cash. When this card shows itself, it is a sign of prosperity. You have invested much of your time and energy into your work, and you will soon be rewarded. Your patience will bring you purpose, stability, and success. So that's very nice. Yeah, I don't know that the work is necessarily work. Okay, we'll do Malik. Because that could just be work on yourselves, stuff like that. This isn't necessarily work. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's a good sign that what you're doing, what you've been doing, is going to lead to purpose, stability, and success. So that's good. But let's see the tempering 5. Financial loss, illness, hardship. A dark purple cloud sweeps across the sky, ready to eclipse the sun. Everything you have worked for has been destroyed, and you have little faith in the future. You may be at rock bottom, but don't wallow too long in your self-pity. Instead, learn from this. Spending time with your loss and grieving for what is gone will be the only way to move on from it. Hardships will always have a way of setting us back, but it is up to you on how you overcome it. So yeah, it looks like that 7 of trees is just ahead. You just need to deal with the 5 of trees. And I think the focus there is on hardship. I mean, it lists different ways it could come about, but basically, you have to decide to move on from it. So that's the gist of that one. So then, and that's the what. What is the implicit why? Well, probably to help you get going. So, because yeah, once you're done with that 5 of trees, you get that purpose and stability from the 7 of trees. So that'll carry you on. So let me know if you yeah, I mean that's one way to look at it. Just moving off of that 5 of trees and focusing towards the future. Yeah, that would be one way to approach it. Yeah. Let me set this down. Yes, Javisha, you're the next one. So yeah. Just want to make sure. I mean, I think we're good with Lavina. So let me just shuffle these a bit and put them in the way. Right. Let me just finish with Lavina. I don't know that that's something you directly revive. I think, like you said, putting in work and working towards goals that you set, that's basically going to get you out of the rut, and then the interest comes back afterwards. So, yeah, there's not a direct way to get that purpose and that interest first. So, yeah. And I mean, that's something I somewhat struggle with, but um, we can talk about that more later. Last. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Um, so, okay. Glad it helped. Javisha, I just want to. Is the question, will you have the baby? Because you had this second version, will I be able to let that baby go? Um, I'm just trying to. No problem, Lavina. Javisha, I'm just trying to make sure I understand the question. Okay. Um, so I guess is your question, should you abort, or I just need a little more clarity on that. Right, okay, let's go with this. You're good. Will the abortion be successful? Yeah, let's use the Destiny deck for this one. Spread that out. So for this, I've got a yes/no spread I use. We'll flip 3 cards. They get categorized a couple different ways, but primarily yes or no. There's a few exceptions. And then primarily, you'll probably be looking for either 3 cards for a definite yes or 2 yeses and something else, as long as it's not an exception. Because that just means it'll take time, which I think you're okay with that. So I'm assuming you're okay with that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, so we've got our 3 cards. Let me show those. I'll make them big. So we've got Goddess Joya. That's a special one to that deck. That'll be a yes. Ace of Wands, and then 5 of Wands. Let me check the guide real quick, but Wands are usually yeses. Okay, so the Ace is a yes. The 5 of Wands is one of the exceptions. That says the answer is yes, but you must fight for it. So that's the only caveat there. But largely yes. Yeah. 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 Julie, you're on the list. Well, I know you said your name. There's Javisha now. There's Malik next. and then there's you. So, and if you need to go for whatever reason, this will be on video. You'll be able to find it on YouTube or whatever you use. Yeah. So just went over the list, Ariel. You would be the fourth one. But yeah, go ahead and drop your question in, and we'll just get to them as we can. Okay. Glad we could help, Javisha. So on to. Thanks for waiting. Malik. Any, gosh. Any message from me, please. Okay. We'll use Cosmo for that. And we'll just have to shuffle that one more next time. Okay. Yeah. And I saw you post that earlier, but yeah. We'll get to it. I just have to, well, get through them. So don't worry. Okay. And Dewey, you don't have to like and sub. I appreciate it, but the readings are free regardless. So, Malik, these three are the main message or messages. This one, I get the impression, is more of a side note. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But the Pathfinder, the Mystic, 10 of Lotuses, and then over there is the Unknown. Pathfinder isn't so much about finding a path. We'll read it, but it's you're able to make the path. So you have that destination in mind. You'll have the wherewithal and the resources to be able to get there. Mystic, I'll have to double check on. I don't remember seeing her as often. I want to say it's Queen or Knight. It's one of the wands face cards in a normal deck. 10 of lotuses would be 10 of chalices or 10 of cups. So usually that deals with emotions that suit. So I expect this to deal with emotional stability. But we'll double check. I don't get those as often, so. But it's Cosma anyways, so it'll have its nuances. So starting with the Pathfinder. Yeah. Oh, there it is. So this would normally be the Page of Pentacles. Ambition, diligence, achiever. Upright, the Pathfinder is someone who always reaches their goals and are straight to the point. There's no time for games. Their eye is on the prize. This can be good in a reading, especially when you are unsure about the outcome of an event. Don't spend any more time worrying about it. This victory will be a gift from the universe, so be diligent and ambitious with your plans. If you follow the boldness of the Pathfinder, you will achieve greatness. So, focus. And yeah, that's really it. Just focus on sort of like the finish line when you're running a race. You don't need to worry about the other stuff. Let's go on to the Mystic. Let's see. So yeah, this is the Queen of Wands in a normal deck. Courage, determination, wisdom. The Mystic shows up when you have acquired certain knowledge that needs to be shared. In a reading, this card suggests that you may know more than you let on or realize. It may require courage and determination to speak your voice, but your views on the situation are crucial to a group understanding. This high pedestal may make you feel isolated from others, so come down and share with those around you. So, speak up, basically. There's something unique about your perspective or your understanding that people need to know. And then we've got the 10 of lotuses. And again, normally the 10 of cups, 10 of chalices. Appreciation. And I still get it wrong. Appreciation, beauty, peace. This card is a symbol of reflection, appreciation, and bliss. It does not ask anything of you other than to experience life as it was truly meant to be, uninhibited by clouded emotions and completely absorbed in the beauty ahead. You have journeyed far and experienced a wide range of emotions, some of which have left you feeling uneasy. Let yourself get lost in the tranquility of right here and now, a perfect moment of calm, and one that is meant to be enjoyed and cherished. So yeah, that one as well as the Pathfinder, they're sort of just a letting go of the worries. With the Pathfinder, you definitely have more of a focus, and there's even a sort of a calm when you're that focused, which the 10 of lotuses gets to. You'll have to gauge how the Mystic is advising you, what that message is. Let's go to the side note, the unknown. And this would normally be judgment. The notes are reflection, reckoning, awakening. The unknown symbolizes the exterior forces we encounter in our lives that push us in unfamiliar and sometimes unwanted directions. These unconscious trajectories propel us more than we often realize. The unknown will awaken you before you're ready, and so you must learn to move with it. It may not be the kind of awakening you would like, but it is sometimes what is necessary to move on. It asks us to take the time to evaluate ourselves and reflect on who we are. It is what creeps in on lonely nights and makes you question what you know to be true. This reckoning is meant to test you, but you will come out the other side awakened and invigorated. So, I don't know if that's it could be a hint. Go ahead and get things in order now because stuff's coming. But yeah, you probably know what that side note is for you. Um, so I guess any questions on any of those, Malik? No problem. Okay. Um, just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Julie. And this was the original one. Um, Let me see if the follow-up was any different. Okay. Let's display the second one. It's got more to it. And basically, we're asking a lot. I feel like this is a desk. Oh, forgot. And Ariel, go ahead and drop your question in. I don't think we've seen that yet. I've got this one, of course, but you would be next in line. Hey, Sabrina. How's it going? Yeah. So I've got this one, Ariel, if she posts her question, but then it would be you. So yeah, we can do that. It almost feels like we would do a reading for Rob. Ooh. But there's also, yeah. We'll see where the cards go. Okay. Is there anything more specific? It's a pretty vague one, and sometimes that means vague answers. Just speaking to Ariel. But if that's your question, that's your question, and we can go with that. Is there anything else? Okay. Let's see. Can we see it all? Yeah. Okay. Imagine rules here. Frequently, I have placeholders for people. For some reason, we just don't even get a placeholder. This is something drawing him away. This is influence in his life. This is intention/feelings. I get the sense that they're related. This, it's a side note of some sort. There's a little more emphasis on this first card, but these are otherwise equal and are speaking to roughly the same thing. So, thing drawing him away, and I mean, offhand, I feel like it's a no, that this person's just not happening. But, Queen of Swords. Perfectionist and intellectual are the notes there. Influence in his life, 10 of Pentacles. So, and the notes there, prosperity and inheritance. And then intentions/feelings, if I can get it. Page of Pentacles. And the notes are visionary and good news. Down here, we've got Two of Swords, choices, indecision, and paired with it, the Architect, success. I mean, this almost looks like analysis paralysis. I don't know if you're familiar with that phrase, but it's where you're spending a long time trying to figure out the right answer. So much time that you're basically getting stuck. And in a lot of cases, you're not necessarily going to have a right answer. But yeah, the Architect is normally working, planning towards success. But the Two of Swords with the choices and the indecision, that's where we're getting the paralysis, unable to decide. So, as far as these other cards, I mean, they seem to feel good. I mean, Page of Pentacles is probably the most important to you for intentions/feelings. Visionary, good news. Yeah. So I don't know if this analysis paralysis is a holdup or something. The thing drawing him away, the Queen, intellectual, the note, and probably the most important thing here is perfectionist, which makes sense. This could be an elaboration on that. I mean, people can get caught up in all sorts of perfectionistic tendencies. But, so this might be the explanation of that. But otherwise, seems to be a good person. So let me go ahead and set this down, and we'll read. I've got a digital guide for this, so I can share that. And we'll read through the cards, and we'll just do it in that order. So we'll start with the Queen of Swords. Represents the mind aspect of the Mother archetype. The energy of this card is that of a single-minded, highly ambitious, astute strategist. This card is about assessing a situation quickly to get to the truth. There is a need for attention to detail associated with this energy. Traditionally, this card is known as the Widow, which means this card represents a strong female energy that has a powerful presence. They might not be an actual widow. This card comes up in a reading when there is a need to see the bigger picture of a situation. This card asks you to take charge and make your decisions with wisdom, intelligence, and perspective, while following your sharp instincts. You will not be led astray. So yeah, something just a thoroughness, a thoughtfulness, that planning aspect um, seems to have derailed him. Um, Going on to 10 of Pentacles. Um, oh, and just to clarify, Ariel, we're currently reading for Julie. Um, so we've still got your relationship coming up. But yeah, you're after Julie here. And then, so 10 of Pentacles symbolizes wealth and security. Count your blessings because magic is all around you. This card shows up to remind you that all is in perfect balance. 10 coins form a perfect arch linked together, surrounding a circle with an eye. This signifies completeness and maturity, which can be interpreted in financial and emotional terms that come with life experiences. The fruits of your labor will benefit future generations as part of your legacy. This card speaks of your connection with the laws of the universe, urging you to live your best life. So, really, just a very positive, benevolent influence. Um, yeah, basically a solid blessing in his life. Let's move on to the Page of Pentacles. Represents the embodiment of a new phase in your life, particularly regarding health, finances, and work, but obviously you're asking about the relationship. The page reveals auspicious new beginnings, progress, and adventure. It is time to nurture your skills and abilities because there may be a job offer or an offer made on a property in the horizon. However, you must pay attention to the details. Ensure that your plan is practical and realistic. The page is hardworking and reliable. This person is young and full of vigor, with the potential to achieve great things in the future. You are asked to take raw opportunity and through concrete steps say yes to the universe in order to create something unique and new. So yeah, even this has the you must pay attention to details. Ensure that your plan is practical and realistic. So I don't know, there's a certain methodicalness to this person. Very planned. Yeah. Let's go on to the Two of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Sometimes it is difficult to see which way you must go. Two of Swords represents that conflicting ideas must be resolved so that you can see the clear path ahead. There may be many choices that you are presented with at this time. You must create a quiet mental space to seek clarity. The solution may not be obvious. However, in order to make a decision, you must rest and restore your inner peace. This can be done through meditation. Take a moment of rest before you make an important decision. So, definitely advising that he needs some peace, a break, meditation if he's willing to practice that in order to reach a decision. I don't know if you've been reaching out to him, but that might be having a negative effect, not giving him the space and peace he needs to really come to that conclusion. Three of Pentacles related to that. Energy of the three is one of creativity, artistry, and collaboration. This card shows up when you are ready to let your talent shine in public. It often appears when you are ready to launch a business, communicate to a large group, or take an idea and materialize it into form. This card is often called the architect, which means that you create a lasting project that will withstand the test of time. Perhaps it feels daunting at first, but you will rise above the attention as this is transitory. You must have the confidence to know that the magic of your work inspires greatness, especially when you master the art of taking ideas and grounding them into form. And given all their methodology, thoughtfulness, the planning, I don't see any issue with actually grounding that stuff. But yeah, having the confidence, being able to proceed, that's probably, yeah, that's where the hang up is, I think. Uh, So, hey, Luis. So, Dewey, I think the only thing, um, yeah, the thing I'm not sure about is will he contact me and when? Um, he seems to need space in order to figure stuff out. Um, Obviously, some of this advice would be great for him specifically, but this, yeah, you're the one who found this out. So, um, yeah, as uncomfortable it is, you might need to relax, let it go for a bit, and give it some time. We didn't really get a time frame on that, so yeah, and that might just be the fact that he needs space, and it's when he gets that space and can actually work through that, that he'll actually be able to proceed. So yeah, um, I guess Julie, any questions, any follow up we need to do? Um, I'm just going over all the questions. There is the is there any other girl in his life? I don't think we actually got an answer on that. There probably is, but he needs to, yeah. I mean, they're probably in the same situation where he needs to make a decision. So I'd probably just focus on giving him the space. Okay. And I know that's tough, um, and it's uncomfortable. So yeah. Confused about what? I guess we're using the same deck. Okay. Thank you. Um, Sorry for bumping that. Um, Ariel. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Especially when time is one of our most precious things. Yeah, Luis, we can do that. We always do our best to make time. Um, but yeah, just wrapping up with Julie. Yeah, time is one of our most precious resources to basically dedicate some of that for them, and just have to wait and see. Yeah, it's rough, especially when they need a good chunk. My future. Thanks. Yeah. Okay. Um, so here are our cards. We got 5. These 3 are speaking to one aspect, these 2 to another. This is a tempered pair. Similarly, this is tempered, although loosely. So there's the primary in front, and then this secondary one loosely tempers, moderates um, the influence of the first, the meaning of the first, and then just more so back there. So uh, we've got 5 of Pentacles. Hardship and isolation are the notes there. And then we've got King of Wands, tempered by 7 of Cups. And then down here, we've got the 2 of Cups, love and peace, tempered a bit by solitude and wisdom of the Hermit. So, I mean, offhand, 5 of Pentacles, the hardship and isolation. I want to read up on that to see if I can get something more specific, but there's going to be that rough patch. King of Wands, our notes here are inspiring and worldly. This is tempered by Seven of Cups, opportunity and confusion. We'll go through the guide, but basically some opportunities are fictional, are fake. And it can be hard to distinguish between them. So many paths, many choices, some more real than others. I'll have to double check the King of Wands I'm just not as familiar. So, but then down here we've got the Love and Peace, so the Two of Cups. So I think in the end things are fine. But this is tempered a bit by the solitude and the wisdom of the Hermit. So we'll see. We'll dig into it. Let me set this down and pull up our guide. Yeah, let's just go in that order. So Five of Pentacles first. This was the standalone one. Guides you through conflict in the material realm, which may manifest in the area of finances or well-being. This card asks that you check your beliefs and values by shifting your lack of mentality to one of health and abundance. This card directs you towards spiritual empowerment to overcome any hardship, for instance, the loss of a job or a relationship. The positive aspect is that you will find support from others in a similar position. Sometimes this card comes up to show a certain fear where there is no reason to be fearful. This card also reflects certain feelings of sadness due to a loss of someone close. Have faith that you will discover a resource that will help you see a way forward. Yeah, I mean, the impression I'm getting from that, I mean, there's going to be tough stuff, and you guys are going to have to work through that. But in the end, you guys will come out better for it. So not necessarily, I mean, it indicated other stuff, but that's not the impression I was getting. Let's go with King of Wands. Since that's the primary. I'll get that one nailed down. Is a father archetype who brings about structure, authority, and order. When this card comes up in a reading, a powerful outcome is about to be revealed. You have mastery over your passions. This card can represent a person or people in your life who has traveled the world and experienced many cultures. A person of great wisdom, high standards, and great authority. This may also be a time to express yourself and your ideas. They will be well received. You are attracting the right people in your life. Stay on your spiritual journey, speak your truth, and balance this with the material world. So, yeah. I almost want to say this is a wise influence is really the strong thing here. I don't know if this is your partner. You'd have to judge that for yourself. But yeah, the thing is, this gets tempered by the Seven of Cups, so that last part is a bit concerning. Stay on your spiritual journey, speak your truth, and balance this with the material world. I mean, we'll read the Seven of Cups now, but it's a bit tricky in this case. Seven of Cups is shown with 7 floating chalices, each offering a gift or beginning. It is up to you to discern what is feasible. You are confronted with many choices, and while the 7 card brings the potential for incredible opportunities, it is unclear what is real and what is fantasy. You need to make a choice by paying attention to your intuition. Go with the flow and trust that you have a higher wisdom to make the correct decisions. As it has been said, what is meant for you will not pass by you. So yeah, that's kind of interesting paired with the King of Wands. Because I mean, he has the wisdom. the wisdom that you presumably would need to navigate the Seven of Cups. So I don't know if that pair together means that the hardships that you guys have in Five of Pentacles is something that you're able to navigate. Um, I mean, part of the difficulty is in the different choices and the opportunities. So, yeah, that'll be interesting how that plays out. But it all works out. So, that's speaking. So, those three together were speaking to one aspect. And now we've got the loosely tempered pair. Two of Cups. This is the primary one. Represents union, harmony, partnership, peace, and love. Perhaps there is a deeper commitment that is occurring in a current relationship, such as an engagement, moving in together, or marriage. This is an auspicious card for a creative partnership as well. This can include one that includes writing, art, creative interests, and healing work. The Two of Cups is a card of reconciliation and ongoing negotiations, which will be resolved in your favor. Enjoy the deep love that is coming your way in all aspects of your life. You deserve it. So, and where we're focused on the relationship, that's just pretty promising. Let's go to the Hermit. Is someone who has a yearning to be alone. He knows that sometimes one must withdraw from the noise and clutter of the world in order to create a space of solitude. The Hermit asks us to live quietly for the time being. This card asks us to wisely withdraw and listen to our own counsel. Break free of tradition and find a unique approach to a question or a challenge. The saying that, when you are ready, the teacher appears, holds true. You are the teacher in this case. Sometimes the card appears when you must heal yourself or heal others. Whatever the circumstance, you are equipped to handle it. Yeah. So, I mean, this is slightly tempering the Two of Cups. I'm seeing this most likely as the sometimes one must withdraw from the noise and clutter. So, some people like it real tight in their partnerships. This might be saying a little space would go a long ways. Um, so, yeah. But overall, very loving. There's the hardships, which won't be pleasant, but I mean, you'll make it out. It'll be fine in the end. So, um, Ariel, let me know if you have any questions on that. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the cards real quick. And then Sabrina is next, I believe. Yeah. Okay. And then we have Louise. Okay. I think we might have lost Ariel. But there's always the video, so she'll be able to catch that if she needs to. Sabrina, let me go ahead and highlight your question. No, Louise, I haven't done you yet. You'll be next after Sabrina. And currently you're the last, so we can take lots of time. Sabrina, can you tell me what Justin feels for me? Just leave that. And then next. All right. Temperature, where does that go? Okay. Okay. Set these aside. And which. Okay. So 4 cards. Um, these two are adjusting. This is a tempered pair. So there's the primary card in front and the tempering card, the secondary card, moderating it in back. Up here, we've got intentions, and below it, we've got the feelings towards you. Both of these are directed towards you. So, starting with him and working out, we've got judgment for him, tempered by 6 of Swords. Interesting. This will be interesting. For the intentions, we've got the Hermit. And then for feelings, we've got the World. Success and joy. Okay. At a high level, like he feels complete. Is that done? I mean, yeah, it feels good towards you, but I think that might be in the past. We'll read on that to get some more. intentions. Yeah, we've got the solitude and wisdom. Um, he's withdrawing, it seems. For himself, he got judgment tempered by Six of Swords. Um, the key there is move on. This guide is a little softer on that message. But for judgment itself, we've got rebirth and letting go. So this person's trying to move on to something. Don't know that he's moving away from you. But that is the context of our reading. No, it's not necessarily that. Yeah, okay, well, let's dig into the cards. But at a high level, I don't think you're engaging with this person soon. They're taking their time. They need to work through some stuff, it seems. We'll start with Judgment. It's a card where your past and future come together. You're being called upon to review your decisions and actions to ensure they are in line with where you ultimately need to go. Great changes and opportunities are on the horizon. But before you move forward, certain past issues must be addressed. The Judgment card also predicts a spiritual awakening. As you receive guidance on your path, your confidence and wisdom will grow. This card is a reminder that it is never too late to make a change for the better. And then this is tempered by Six of Swords. Represents a quiet passage from a situation or relationship following a certain hardship, enjoying a period of peace. Perhaps you must take a moment of rest from a relationship or responsibilities. This moment of rest and recharge may lead you to explore a new environment or perhaps take you to a new spiritual direction. When this card shows up in a reading, it can be a sign that things are getting better and calmer moments lie ahead. This card can also signify a physical journey you are about to embark upon. You are transitioning to a better place so that you may find yourself again. So yeah, I mean, those two are very much in sync. And both of them are kind of requiring space. So yeah, and then let's go on to the Hermit. Someone who has a yearning to be alone. He knows that sometimes one must withdraw from the noise and clutter of the world in order to create a space of solitude. The Hermit asks us to live quietly for the time being. This card asks us to wisely withdraw and listen to our own counsel. Break free of tradition and find a unique approach to a question or a challenge. The saying that, when you are ready, the teacher appears, holds true. You are the teacher in this case. Sometimes the card appears when you must heal yourself or heal others. Whatever the circumstance, you are equipped to handle it. I mean, he's definitely healing himself in a sense. Not to say he has wounds, but I mean, he's doing a major realignment, possibly, in his life. So the withdrawal is intentional. That doesn't mean it's a permanent thing. But yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and get to feelings. But like I said earlier, I'm not expecting this person to re-engage with you anytime soon. There we are. The final card in the Major Arcana that represents the end of a journey. This card is about completion, success, and fulfillment. This card is one of the most welcome cards in a reading. Your projects pay off, your hard work is rewarded, and a phase is coming to an end in a positive way when the world shows up in your reading. When the world shows up in your reading, you are reminded that you are exactly where the universe has intended for you to be on your path. The message that is being given is that a milestone or an important goal has been achieved. The cycle has come to a rewarding conclusion. Feel the joy as a new journey is awaiting you. The world is in continuous motion. Enjoy your success. Yeah, I mean, from this perspective, he's done. There's nothing bad per se in the past, but it's in the past for them, and they're moving on and realigning towards something else. Hey, Shimanta. Um, Luis is the next person, but then yeah, and you can do 2 questions. That's fine. Um, but Sabrina, if you're still on, any questions on that? Okay, Natalie, we can ask that too. I'll go ahead and clean up. I think Sabrina might have to come back for that. Um, but it's on the video, so she's got that. Luis, did we have a specific question? I don't think you've asked yet. Let me check. We can do guidance. Okay. Well, well, I guess if you want to wait for the second, that's fine too. Guidance. Okay. No problem. Normally I would use Cosma, but looks like we're using the Destiny deck for this one. You sure? Because I take as much time as I need. I don't know what your timeline is. Okay. Well, if you'd rather wait, we can do that. Shimanta was next. So clarify this for me. Are you asking about the source of the unwellness, I guess, or? Okay. Or are you asking if you directly can get universe messages even if you're not feeling well? There's a couple ways to take that. So about health. Yeah, I think we'll use Cosmo for this. All good. Okay. Health and situation is going on. Let me get our camera back. There we go. Okay. So we got 3 cards. We've got Past Lives, the Cosmic Tree, and 7 of Lotuses. This would normally be the moon. Oh, not the moon. Dang it. Gosh, I'm going to have to double check that one now. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to double check. I mean, this deck has its particular spin on things. But obviously, these are different names than you would find in a normal tarot deck. Cosmic Tree, I'll need to double check as well. Those are both major arcana. The 7 of Lotuses, this would normally be 7 of Chalices or 7 of Cups. And this will refer to the intoxicating waters, that you're living in 2 worlds, and that it's not going to work, that you'll need to settle on one. But we'll read the guide on that just to get it clear. That's the gist of that one. And then we'll see how those 2 play in. Let me set this down. And we'll just do them in that order. So Past Lives. So this would normally be the Death card in a deck. The notes here are expansion, spirituality, awareness. Each past life you have lived influences the decisions and events of your current life. Your fears, your dreams, your wants and desires. Your past lives are entangled in each choice you make, and the things that make you who you are. You have pulled this card to draw awareness to this. You are constantly expanding. New cycles are beginning and ending all the time. Take this spiritual lesson and let it shift you into the effervescent soul you wish to be. So there's the choice of who you want to be and pulling yourself towards that more consciously. Let's go to the cosmic tree. Reaffirming inner truth, understanding. If the cosmic tree comes up in a reading, it is offering guidance through the collective unconscious. Take this as a positive affirmation that the path you are on is the right one, and that in contemplation comes understanding and growth. Trust that the truth you seek is buried within the fibers of your own being. Understand that knowing your inner truth may require isolation. Spend time with yourself in the quiet. There is a seed that needs nurturing. Yeah, a lot of this has been spiritual so far. Um, but yeah, firming up who you are, what is your truth, and moving in that direction. So, the Seven of Lotuses. Searching for purpose, choices, and daydreaming. You find yourself immersed in a wondrous new world. The magic that flows through the teal waters is alluring and somewhat intoxicating. This card shows up when you have been living in two worlds as a way of not choosing one. You may be feeling overwhelmed by decisions and instead have chosen to retreat into another daydream. It is healthy to fantasize having two lives, but if too much time is spent in between, you will wake up feeling not a part of either. Feel fully in it, get caught up in the wonder of one. So, yeah, I mean, that could even be related to the first two. It could also be somewhat separate. I mean, you'll have to figure out what that indecision, um, what those different worlds have been for you. I mean, the conflict of not picking one could be part of it. And then obviously, the more grounded you are in who you are, your inner truth that we're getting from past lives and the cosmic tree, that'll plant you more firmly. Yeah, I don't know if it's just. I mean, this would basically be suggesting you're you're having cognitive dissonance, and that's manifesting physically in some way, or maybe mentally, I guess. But in whatever your unwell is, it could be that you just need to be more aligned with who you are, um, and really firm that up, both inside yourself, in how you act, and how you view the world, and go through it. So, yeah, I thought it would be something more physical and whatnot, but this would suggest that it's coming from the inside out. So, and then Shimanta, um, you said you had two questions. That was only one. What's your second question? What's your future career profession? Yeah, I'm working with cards. Yeah, I'll probably just have to get more inspiration on that, but we'll see. Um, is this Cosma rolling Insight or Destiny? Prisma or Destiny? Um, I think I'm leaning Prisma. So this deck has a predecessor. That's the one we're going to use next. Let me flip this. Pull those out. It's my future career slash profession. Oh, I guess I should highlight that. Okay. Well, let me see if I can get an answer. I'm getting the impression that I can't get a read for that. Asking more. The guidance was to the trust the higher power, that they're taking care of it and leading you along the way. So if you can trust them, then trust them. Whoever that higher power is for you. But yeah, as far as specifics, I can't get a read on that. And I know that's usually the more comforting thing to have those specifics, but okay. Then yeah, then we're good. Let's see. We still have Natalie, Luis. I know you were waiting. Are we still waiting for end of the line? Oh, awesome. Then it's probably a matter of them molding you, working you, so that you can do that, fill that. Okay. I'm pretty sure Louise is waiting to have me all to herself. So we'll go ahead with Natalie's question. This was a destiny question. This is Thanks, Shamantha. Take care. Okay. So I've got okay, I'll just set those aside. I've got a spread. This is basically a yes/no question. I've got a spread I like to use for this. So basically each card is a yes or no, sometimes neutral. There's a few exceptions. And then based on that collective set of three, well, you get your yes, maybe delayed, no, etc. We did get a personal note. So you'll see the fourth card below the three. So these are for the yes/no, the yes/no spread. This was a personal message towards you. I don't know what that'll touch on, but as far as the yes/no, 4 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, and 2 of Cups. 4 of Swords is neutral. 6 of Pentacles, that's a yes. And then 2 of Cups. Yeah, that's also a yes. So this would fall into the 2 yes cards with a no or neutral. It means a positive outcome is likely, but may take time to come about. So whether that means it'll be the tail end of the year or maybe into next year. But yes, I would be expecting that either end of this year or start of next year sometime. And then the personal note, Page of Wands, good news and courage are the notes there. We'll actually read up on that though. Let me just set this down so that I can pull it up. And that was Page of Wands. Brings about good news regarding projects that require negotiations. Pay close attention to messages, emails, and phone calls because there is an opportunity. There is an opportunity in the news you are receiving. The wand is associated with fire, and just like fire, the page is burning with ambition. Fire must be cooled down a bit in order to assess the situation and take a measured step forward. The page is a hard worker who is dedicated to his craft with great influence. Yet he must stay excited because he can easily move on to the next exciting venture that attracts him. Stay on course and maintain your spark. Yeah, I don't know if that's specifically related to the pregnancy question or if that's something else in your life. Presumably, you'll know what that's speaking to. So, yeah. Any questions, Natalie? Otherwise, Luis, we're doing general for you, right? Guidance. Okay. And we were getting the Destiny deck for you too, even though Cosmo's the one. Okay. Okay. Well, whether or not we lost her, she'll be able to see the video for that. So, Luis, no questions, just guidance. This is sort of like angel messages. Normally, that stuff I use the Cosmo Visions deck for. But seems like Destiny's the deck for you today. Okay. So some interesting stuff. I mean, we've seen some. A standalone, all advice of some sort. These are a pair, they're equals. This is a tempered pair, so the primary tempered by the secondary. This one, I just get the feeling that this is skewed in some way. It's not reversed, but it's not the straightforward. It's not the normal reading either. So that's skewed. It's slanted in some way. I don't know what though. So we've got 7 of Swords. We've got the pair of 10 of Pentacles and 2 of Swords. We've got the tempered pair of Knight of Wands, tempered by Wheel of Fortune. Let me space these out a little more. I guess we'll go up this way. That way you can see the words. Fate and Change are the ones on there. And then our skewed card, the Devil. And the notes there are Temptation and Enslavement. But like I said, yes, this is for you, Luis. But like I said, this one is skewed. So, I mean, we'll read it, but then we'll try to figure out what the skew is. But you'll probably have a better idea. So first glance, 7 of Swords. I don't know what the notes here are dishonesty and betrayal. That's the normal theme. Yeah. I guess the question I'm not sure about is whether this is external or internal, whether someone betrays you or you feel they've betrayed you, or if you're betraying yourself. That's one thing I'm not sure on. Here, this one's interesting. I mean, the 10 of Pentacles has a lot of prosperity, security associated with it, financial security, worldly security, I guess. But then the 2 of Swords, the choices and the indecision, yeah, I don't know if you're having a hard time choosing a route. It almost seems like it would work out either way, given that they're paired together. Maybe the choice has to do with whether or not you go for that security. But yeah. And then over here, the Knight of Wands, restless, fearless. I think you've got that energy. So then the tempering influence of Wheel of Fortune, fate, and change. We'll read up on those. Just interesting, those cycles. Because, you might be more restless than the wheel normally turns, than its changes happen. And then the Devil, yeah, temptation, enslavement. That's like your own addictions and whatnot. I think there's more to it. So I definitely want to read up on that. But figuring out that skew, I'm not sure. We'll find out. So I'm going to set this down. And let's pull up the guide. So the 7 of Swords to start with. Shows up when there are struggles of the mind that require you to look at yourself and questions your motivations and intentions. This card is commonly known as the Thief card. Realign your thoughts with your purest intentions in order to avoid any mental struggle. This card can also appear as a message to protect your belongings, your personal space, and your emotions. Use your intuition to discover the truth, and you'll be able to navigate through this challenging period. Yeah, I get the feeling that the first part is the relevant one. So realign your thoughts with your purest intentions in order to avoid any mental struggle. That would be the guidance there. Let's read the Two of Swords and then the Ten of Pentacles. Oh well. Sometimes it is difficult to see which way you must go. The Two of Swords represents that conflicting ideas must be resolved so that you can see the clear path ahead. There may be many choices that you are presented with at this time. You must create a quiet mental space to seek clarity. The solution may not be obvious. However, in order to make a decision, you must rest and restore your inner peace. This can be done through meditation. Take a moment of rest before you make an important decision. And then paired with the Ten of Pentacles, symbolizes wealth and security. Count your blessings because magic is all around you. This card shows up to remind you that all is in perfect balance. 10 coins form a perfect arch linked together surrounding a circle with an eye. This signifies completeness and maturity, which can be interpreted in financial and emotional terms that come with life experiences. The fruits of your labor will benefit future generations as part of your legacy. This card speaks of your connection with the laws of the universe, urging you to live your best life. I kind of get the sense that the choices might be between the financial and emotional terms. That might be your choice for some reason. Picking which route to go. Let's go on to. We'll start with the Knight of Wands. He's the one being tempered. Shows up when there is a bold, empowering movement in your life. The Knight encourages you to move forward with passion. An important message is about to be delivered. You are embarking on a spiritual quest, awakening to a deep truth. If you are waiting for certain messages to come through, now is the time. This card shows up as an auspicious moment for moving into a new home, finding new work or progress on a project. The Knight inspires those around him. There is fast movement in one area of your life, so be prepared. Which, with the arrival of that message, I'm sure will trigger all the hurry and blurry. Tempered by the Wheel of Fortune. Reminds us that things around us are constantly in motion. Nothing is permanent, and we must give gratitude to the lessons we are gifted with. It also reminds us that anything is possible. There are chance meetings and unexpected life occurrences that may confront us suddenly. This card appears when as an auspicious... They worded that poorly. This card appears as an auspicious sign that things will get better. Knowing that you have the ability, you must now listen to your intuition and manifest your wishes. Your intuitive powers are heightened now, and this is an opportunity to understand your role in the universe. It almost makes me think that the message might not be positive, the one that you get from the Knight of Wands, but that in no wise detracts from your ability to then act, move forward, and begin that hustle and bustle. So, and let's get to the Devil. And again, this one is skewed in some way. We'll see if we can pick up on it. The Devil card carries with it heavy feelings of oppression and lack of power. When this card shows up, you may feel like you have no control in a certain situation. The Devil has convinced you that you have no options. This is a card of greed, codependence, temptation, and materialism. The Devil is also associated with addiction, with sex, food, substances, and negative thinking patterns. Yet this negativity does not reflect the truth. You are not being trapped by external forces. It is your own limitation that is keeping you imprisoned. You hold the keys to your own freedom. but it is up to you to release yourself of the shackles. I mean, the impression I'm getting is that this is something that you might be putting out there. Um, Not that you would be the one enslaved or tempted, but that it might be something you offer. Um, yeah, yeah. That's my best guess at the skew. Obviously, you'll be able to figure out how that applies best, but um, yeah. Well, I mean, the double card is interesting in and of itself. I haven't had a skewed card before, so yeah. I'm going to head and minimize that. So yeah, I'm curious if you're able to connect that dot. I'd be interested how that interprets. Um, but yeah, that's what we're getting. So yeah, and I know it's called the devil, um, and that for a lot of people can just have a negative connotation. um, are you not able to? Da-da-da. Let me just go ahead. You're on Facebook. Because there's this would be streaming to the Practical Prince profile. Um, let's matched. And they probably know. Oh, oh, they think they know who I know. Let's see what the. Thanks. I've got the black and white. I definitely am looking for a. Oh, there it is. Pretty sure. Let's check. Yep, that looks the same. So I'll just add you on there. Okay. All right. I think we're going to call that good for now. We're getting close to 3 hours, so I should probably take a break. Go ahead and message me. Yeah, you've mentioned that before, but we can just talk there. And yeah, I guess for everybody else, or anybody who was maybe listening but didn't get to ask, we're streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I am looking for a job, so at some point that'll change the schedule of our streaming, but for now we haven't locked that down. So 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, hope you're doing well, and until next time.